Alright, hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Hypergun. It's a first-person shooter roguelike. Should know by now that that's kind of my jam, and if you're joining us for the first time, well, it's kind of my jam. Wow, this is fast. Welcome to the DevTech Lab offices. Feel free to explore and discover the offices, or proceed directly to the simulation chamber to get started. Hello and welcome to the DevTech Labs family. Please review the following information. The workday is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., with overtime being mandatory during near-apocalyptic events. Pizza lunch is provided by the company. Please report to the simulation chamber. Follow the floor lines to complete the Hypergun program tutorial. The Hypergun program is highly confidential, so please refrain from hashtagging, adding, sharing, live streaming, dead streaming, live hashtagging, etc. confidential materials. Have a nice day. Or have a super day. Well, let's get into this. Meta Shop. Spend Hypercoins to unlock new weapon components. Unlock components have a chance to spawn within the next simulation run. Alien Gallery, Assembly Department, Entry and Offices. I assume it wants me to go this way. Maybe? Okay, so this is weapon components. Holy crap, there's a lot. Alright, that's a good sign. Overbarrels, ammo, stocks, scopes, barrels. Okay, so this is a craft your own gun kind of game. Kind of like Mother Gunship. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so simulation chamber is where the magic happens. Enter the simulation pod to begin, or review stats and challenges or classes throughout the room. Dewey Owens, the intern. Okay, so health, damage, fire rate, projectile velocity, select abilities, base. Sure. I don't think I can be any of the other ones anyway. We also have extra candidates. Top 5 Hypergun candidates. Oh, there's a leaderboard for other players. Wow. There is a lot. So these are the classes. Intern, security, lawyer, HR, and favorite class so far. Alright. And we have the lab, factory, jungle, alien ship, volcanic, and mainframe to get through. Well, let's just get going. Let's see, would I like to play the tutorial level? Sure. I hate tutorials. I prefer to learn by doing, but everybody gets cranky at me if I can't figure it out intuitively. Immediately. Alright, welcome to Hypergun Simulation Orientation. Use WS to move, space to double jump, mouse to look. Alright, pretty basic. I'm liking the visuals. Nice and neon. Failure isn't the end. Collect Hypercoins to unlock new attachments and abilities to aid in your quest to save human race. I might have to... Can I turn up the sensitivity a little bit? Field of view, let's crank that up a little bit. And motion blur is automatically off, that's a good sign. But I want probably under controls. Mouse sensitivity. Let's bump that up by like, I don't know, half? Might be a little bit too fast. No. I'm gonna, oof, okay. Let's hope that's not standard. Picking up attachments. So collect attachments to improve your weapon. Alright, how do I modify my weapon? Secondary fire. Okay. Well, I don't have a secondary fire. Unless it just taught me secondary fire. I'm not really sure. Okay, how do we... Inventory, shift is sprint. Whoa, hi. Okay, I move quick. I guess we want to actually go back to where I was. So we have some coffee that I can throw. This is probably some kind of, like, boost move. Okay, well, let's pick that up. Ripsaw attachment discovered. Oh. Okay, so the attachments are just automatically added. Now, do I have to worry about ammo? It doesn't look like it. It looks like, yeah, it looks like it's cooldown based more than anything else, and we're finding bits. Alright, well this isn't so bad so far. I've heard the main problem with this game is just lack of enemy variety, which will be a problem, we'll see. Each class has 4 abilities, provide extra options, combat, Q to use hot coffee. Okay, so it's standard grenade style. Main problem is that dude right there. Nope, never mind. His shield's got a bit of a cooldown to it. Apart from that, nothing to worry about. Okay, I like the visual style. This reminds me of that other FPS roguelike I played. Items replenished, bit found, health full, nerf attachment discovered, and some shields. And I don't know why I destroy those, it feels right to destroy everything. Map. Okay, so this is how we open the map back up. Oh, warp point. Okay, so I can warp between. And this looks nice. Let's see, does this play smooth? Oh, you know, you're right. Let me see if I can mess with that. So it plays smooth, it looks choppy. So this is a me having recording problems. So this might actually be one of those where my Ryzen is working against me. I'm just gonna crank everything down and we'll see if I can fix it. Because yeah, it's just a little choppy. I run into this problem because my Ryzen processor is well, a lot of indie games aren't. That looks a little bit smoother, at least. Ow, sorry. That looks a little bit smoother. Let me know if it's like it's a little chop here and there. But that's about it. But honestly, I think that might be more of a statement against my computer. This is what I get for trying out experimental tech in my, you know, mainline recording rig. Everybody's like, get a Ryzen, it'll be okay, they said. You know, it'll be faster than anything else on the market. And then I got it, and it was faster than everything else in the market. It just also happened to be unsupported by like half the developers. Oh, that's interesting. Woo, hi. What other games? I haven't been running into it as much in the recently. But it's still kind of like a mild problem, and it's an annoyance. I don't know. There's not much I can do about it. We're just gonna take a look at it anyway. I've got you guys under a solid 30 FPS, but it's gonna look a little chop anyway. At least the game looks fine on lower settings. Okay, so what do we got? One more item, but I think we already grabbed that. And that's just the way I came. Okay, well, let's get out of here. And it might not even be Ryzen necessarily. It could just be specifically my rig. Who knows? I don't know. After I move, I'm probably going to buy a new computer using an Intel processor. I think... Okay, crunch time attachment discovered. Fire rate accuracy minus something. Those don't stick around very fast. Oh, okay, so little bonus shields. Okay, so a lot of shield dudes all over the place. Well, at least their shields don't last very long. I don't have any special abilities. I'm not entirely sure what causes my hot coffee to respawn, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, I totally understand when developers haven't developed with my specific processor in mind. It sucks for me, because it more or less means that this is going to be a one-off, at least until I get a different recording setup, or the problems get fixed. I had this problem in Hob, which was a darn shame, because I rather enjoyed that game. I do want one of those secondary... I really should probably take out the air guys first. The shield dudes are a nuisance, but they're not too dangerous. Oh, you're big. And kind of cool looking. Yeah, the gameplay is kind of fun. This really does remind me of that other roguelike FPS that I played recently. I don't remember the name of it, though. Unfortunately, they have these like really nice visual styles, but they feel... they don't stand out quite enough. In some way, and I'm trying to think of, like, exactly why. I like the gun modding system. I think it's just a lot of the, a lot of this has just been kind of done before. You know, when compared to Tower of Guns, these level designs feel a little on the flat side. And obviously, you know, mildly predisposed against games that have performance problems for me. Okay, fire rate, velocity, but reduced damage. Uh-oh, that's scary. What kind of room is this? Oh, that's just a warp point. Okay, well that's fine. Hey, thank you, Crystalon, for the resub. Let's see. Hi. Okay, so how many bits? I got 1 bit. So this is right out. We'll come back later. Nice part is you can warp back and forth between levels. That's admittedly something the Mother Gunship doesn't do well, which is specifically the concept of, okay, so minus 10 damage actually isn't that big of a deal. But I fell down, apparently, like, the world's smallest hole. Yeah, Mother Gunship doesn't let you backtrack, so, more traditional level styles don't work as well. I actually kind of wish they had, let you do that. You know, have maybe 1 shot per floor or more bosses. But I don't really, I shouldn't be talking about Mother Gunship while I'm playing this game. I'm just, I don't know, it's one of the easiest reference points I can come up with. Yeah, honestly, you know, this game kind of reminds me of Fancy Skulls. Obviously, a lot more like neon and like glam, but the level design is very definitively Fancy Skulls, which bonus points if any of you guys have ever even seen a Fancy Skulls episode for me. I don't expect anybody to have ever watched any of those. Those are ancient. It was a bit of a shame actually, because I liked that game. It was neat. The roguelike FPS genre is... There's a number of games for it. What's this? Oh, map revealed. There's a number of roguelike FPSs, but at the same time, there's not enough of them. Like, I really want to see more from the genre. Like, every single new one I see has some really, like, neat ideas. And, like, I would love to see more. Whoops. I just walked my butt right into Shield, man. Kind of surprised I didn't get smacked for that. Hey, you know what? There's no contact damage in this game. That's a huge plus. I hate contact damage. And the enemies have fairly defined patterns. Admittedly, most of them just kind of run at you. I kind of wish you could... I guess you kind of do stun that guy by running him into the wall. He was definitely just kind of standing there. Hi. Do I have a secondary fire yet? I do not. Still working on that part. I want to take out the ranged guys. Luckily, their projectiles are slow and easy to avoid, so I don't have to worry about it too much. God, I'm so glad that there's no... you don't run out of ammo in this game. I like the giant shield dude design. I do too. There is actually a lot of good things about this. Let's see. We don't have any other items. There's just a item refill, which I should probably use. I actually have some. I'm just gonna... So hot coffee does not actually... So hot coffee, it's like a Molotov, but it doesn't leave the damage zone on the ground. That's a bit of a shame, actually. It would have been really cool if you could leave, like, a burning damage zone on the ground. I guess that'd be a little bit too strong, maybe? Let's see. I think this form of question has been asked before. What's an old series I'd love to redo now with my current experience? What I'd like to delete? Can't say scrap mechanic. Honestly, I actually don't regret a single episode of scrap mechanic. For all of my grumps about that game, it's mostly just about the it's mostly just about people that are unrelenting and demanding it. What game would I love to redo? Any games that I did preemptively? I mean, there's a number of, like, first episodes that I mildly regret. I would love to redo, oh, what am I thinking? Abduction. I was a little too sassy with Shell, and I came off as a bit of a dick. But that's less of a, like, I'd like to redo it because I'm more experienced now, and more of just a, like, you know, whoops. If there's a series that I'd like to undo from the history of my channel, it would probably be it'd probably actually be my, Fury series. For some ungodly reason, that got, like, a stupid amount of views, and it never should have. Because I was not good at that game, I didn't enjoy that game, and yet it did really well. And yeah, I regret that. Okay, bayonet attachment discovered. Okay, so that's... Oh, Bayonetta, of course. That's adorable. Let's see, what else would there be? As far as experience goes, I would love to go back to my Fallout series, actually, with more experience. There's a lot of things that I did in my Fallout series because it was just a joke series. I wasn't taking them seriously. I didn't think they were going to do well. And so I get comments every day from people, more or less whining about how I spent 10 minutes on making my character and whatnot. And, like, yeah, I regret that a little bit. But that's about the only one. So is this a first-person futuristic Enter the Gungeon? Kinda. I would say it's like a slightly more arena-based Mother Gunship, for better or worse. I like it. Like, I'm actually enjoying this. I'm wildly off-topic right from the get-go. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I like the fact that all the weapon mods just get kind of jammed on your gun. Some people might not enjoy that, but I kind of enjoy it because it's just like, alright, you just get whatever you get. It'd be nice if you could preview them or, like, switch them out a little bit. But that's about it. Let's see. Because, yeah, there's some of these weapon mods that I don't like. Unfortunately, the performance is going to be the major holdback for me. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's just a little fiddly on my end. Probably aim for the unshielded ones, to be totally honest, but whatever. But, you know, the gun system, the guns actually are pretty fun. The abilities don't seem half bad. The enemies don't seem bad either. I think it's just the fact that there's only going to be a handful of them. It's a little weird that they have just immediate wall hacks and know where you are at all times, but whatever. It's like Mother Gunship's guns plus Isaac's power-up system where you can't remove the upgrades. Yeah, I'm hoping, I don't know if this is the case, but it would be cool if you could find some more, like, interesting gun attachments, you know, one that switches your gun to be a shotgun instead, or one that switches it to be a... I'm gonna check the graphics settings to see if I can change anything else. Standard painterly pixelated. Let's try painterly. I don't know. I don't think this is better. It's very hard to tell. One of the filters might actually make things better. Let's try pixelated. I'm just gonna switch between these. Oh boy. That hurts the eyes a little bit. Okay. Next one. Pixelated retro. Yeah, one of these might just randomly fix the frame rate, if we're lucky. Frame rate performance on my end. I doubt it. But it's interesting to have these options in a game, even if I highly doubt I'm going to use them. Okay, next one. So that's retro. I think standards, yeah, standard's the one we started on. Alright, well, there's pretty much nothing I can do. I guess I'm gonna just turn off the shadows. Oh, that did it. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It kinda helped. Turning off the shadows does a little bit. It is often the shadows with games like... Whoop! I'm over here now. Okay, it is oftentimes the shadows with games like these. Not always, but sometimes. Okay, well, let's go to the shop. I have 5 bits. That's enough for something. Okay, shield. No. Weapon module, shield, no. Key, interesting. Health, another weapon module. I probably should just save my Gibbs. Yeah, but maybe after the boss or something. If we can. Honestly, it's weird. I actually don't really like shadows in a lot of games. Spheros. We're gonna be fighting Zordon? Disco Zordon, apparently. Can I? Nope, can't shoot those. Well, this is an interesting boss. I appreciate it. Yeah, just gotta get between the gaps here. I'm just gonna keep shooting at the mid. Ow. I guess the other thing is we can kind of keep even. I was hoping to just jump over the beams, but that might not work as well as I'd like it to. It's interesting to have a boss that is a giant living Tetris ball. Unfortunately, my gun lacks the oomph I need, but we're gonna start popping these blocks off pretty quick. At this point, yeah. Now we're doing some hits in there. Just gotta wait for my ammo to come back, and let's pile it in. I just gotta make sure I don't shoot the gun turret thing. I know I'm still shooting the vast majority of his armor instead of anything useful, but that's okay. I gotta give him points for the inventive boss fight. This is neat. Repetitive, yeah. But as far as things go. Yeah, the thing moves to block. Actually, if I just shoot slightly past it, it won't block me at all. Just gotta wait for my ammo to come back. And yeah, the ability system's kind of nice. Oh. Okay, so I can shoot its projectiles out of the air. Well, that's kind of handy. They also don't seem to have an AoE to them, so I can kind of just do whatever I want. I gotta make sure I just dodge. Oh, good. It's getting faster. Oh! My ability gives me unlimited ammo for a short period of time. That's kind of nice. And I can actually use that whenever I'm starting to run out here. Okay, so we're gonna have to dodge a little bit more. Whoa! Whoa! What? Oh! The environment turns off. Okay, so I can't just hang out at the back of the room anymore. Well, that's appreciated. Out of ammo again, but that's okay. Because there it goes. Well, that was a neat little fight. It's just tons of HP. Hey, here we go. Okay, so extra Intellorangs, damage and accuracy, 5 hyper coins, some more bits, some health back. Hey, we're back up to full. So Intellorangs. So that's... Oh, okay, so attachments are the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well, that's neat. So you can actually switch between your attachments and you can have up to 5. Well, I'm enjoying this. Shame about the performance. I might actually see if there's a alternate way of doing these things. It does feel like a lot of the attachments are just purely numbers. Or the attachments, you know, the major gun mods are just purely numbers. And I don't necessarily mind, like, basic numbers when it comes to these things. But it is nice, it's nice when they're, like, how do I even describe it? Oh, some of these sound effects are, hell are you? Yeah, I might have to turn down the sound effects here. Oh, it's a slime! It splits. That's actually kind of cute. Okay, I think I got the shield guy at the very least. Take him out. I think you can actually see where he's aiming, which is kind of neat. Yeah. Yeah, whenever you clear a level, it hangs pretty hard. So, I don't know. I think this might be one of those that, we'll finish this episode, we'll finish this run, I'll put it up on YouTube. What is this thing? Ah! Okay, don't do that. We'll finish this episode, we'll finish this run, and then we cross our fingers that they patch the performance a little bit on my end. Oh, they put out, like, gravity balls and stuff. I think. It at least felt like, it was sucking me in a little bit. I could be wrong. I definitely appreciate that we don't have to worry about running out of ammo here. That would suck. It's also neat that you can shoot enemy projectiles out of the sky. Maybe not all of them, but at least some of them. And yeah, the gameplay feels pretty nice and smooth when it's performing. But yeah, come back to this once they've ironed out some of the bugs. Okay, stay away from Spliticus there. Where's the, there you are. And yeah, I think I might have to turn off the sound effects because is going to drive me a bit nutters. And yeah, as long as you keep moving, this game ain't bad. Piercing harpoons, reduced velocity, reduced fire rate. Oh, that's interesting. So, supposedly I've got... Oh, no. It's this. Huh. Works pretty well for groups. I like the Intelorangs better, I think. But the harpoon ain't bad. Question is, I wonder if the harpoons work against shielded enemies. That's a question to ask. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of shielded enemies to run into here. Got him. All right. Do we have any other particularly? Those slimes are hilarious. I'm so glad traps affect enemies as well. What was I playing recently where the enemies were not affected by traps? I don't remember. There was something recently I was just like, you know, I would very much love to like, drag enemies into traps and, like, trick them and stuff. Okay. So, it does look like the, piercing harpoon does in fact pierce their shields, which is kind of nice because popping their shields off is it's not that big of a pain in the ass. In Positron X had enemies walking through lava. Yes, that's the other roguelike FPS that I was talking about. Very similar approaches. Kind of different outcome. Oh man. If these could have, like, Tower of Gun style level design, it would be really nice. Because, yeah, unfortunately, it's mostly just, like, the occasional ramp here. I don't really feel like I'm exploring a level. Probably should not just stand right there. There you are. How did you not die from that? I am impressed. Dumbass is just like, you know where's a good place to stand? Next to the fire traps. I do appreciate that headshots do something in this game. Enemy weak points are appreciated. Admittedly, I pretty much am exclusively aiming for body shots. Because it's more important for me to keep moving and avoiding damage instead of anything else. I will admit the AI might be a little bit on the dim side. Got them both. Ah, wow. Okay. Let's see. What do we have remaining? We got some more bits. We've got an item. This is one of those games that's going to give me a little bit of claw hand. But then again, I've just been playing too many games lately, so I've just got kind of baseline, a little bit of claw hand going on. Oh well. Hello, item. What do we got? Don't know until we pick it up. Extra velocity, extra accuracy. Sure, why not? Dim AI is better than super smart AI. It varies, but yeah. Wall hack AI. Well, these guys have wall hacks. They know where you are at all times. It is nice that it's just a bunch of fodder enemies. You know, even the tankier enemies go down in not too long. So you can kind of just mow through them. It does feel like, with the way the enemies are set up, either this game is going to be kind of weirdly trivial, the entire way through, or we're going to start running into enemies that can either start one-shotting or, like... God, those sound effects need to change. Like, there needs to be a cooldown between when those guys can scream. But, you know, we're either going to have a relatively easy time of it, or this is going to get really, really rough. Really, really quickly at some point. Is that all of them? That was all of them. And more hyper coins. I wonder if that does, No, it does not look like it actually does bonus damage. Based on where you hit them with. Or, like, where you hit them on their bodies. Bit of a shame, but I kind of understand. So we've got shield dudes. I should probably just... Oop. That's just a bomb bot. I was trying to find you. I do appreciate that they let down the upper half of their shield to shoot. That they're not just immediately able to just shield all shots from an angle. Whoop. I thought we were done. We might be, we might not be. Is that a coffee maker on your gun? I'm an intern. Okay, where are you? You're not the one I was looking for. I gotta remember I've got the, spam fire attachment. Though, I am in the habit of, squandering things. Ow. Yeah, I'm not really sure how these boomerangs qualify as rockets. That's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna honestly take the most amount of damage just by walking through, through fire more than anything else. Yeah. Yeah, game does not like it.